Before I start this talk, I'd like to show you a photo. What details stand out to you? What do you notice? Now you might be wondering why I had you do this exercise. Isn't this talk about tech? Now let's take another look at that photo. What bits of personal information can you glean from this image? Was your school magnet there? Was your house in the background of the pic? What did you notice? What details do you see when you pick apart the image that you just saw? These details might seem trivial to us, but for a hacker, these small details may be all they need to destroy your life. What if a hacker just saw that photo? What did you just tell them? Probably nothing too bad, right? Maybe where you go to school or what grade you're in. Surely there's nothing a hacker can do with that information. Right? Wrong. Even small trivial details, such as your computer case, can result in password theft. This is because passwords are compromised of personal material which hackers can use to determine if you gave away such information. How many times per year do you think people get hacked? Do you think maybe a couple thousand, 100,000 at the max? What if I told you across America there are 800,000 cyber attacks per year? What if I told you across America there are 2,200 cyber attacks per day? Think about this. Every day, your birthday pictures, your latest math test grade, and your last search on Amazon for your best friend's gifts are in the mercy of a criminal. Think about all of your personal information sitting next to a potential hacker. Then you say, sure, cyber attacks are bad, but they're not really dangerous. This is an F-35. It flies at the speed of 1,200 miles per hour. It costs $78 million and was made primarily with titanium. This, on the other hand, is a MacBook Air. It costs $1,000 and was made primarily with plastic. Would you believe it if I said a cyber attack is more likely to bring down an F-35 jet than an air-to-air missile? A computer is more deadly than a multi-million-dollar ballistic missile sanctioned by the U.S. Department of Defense. This is due to the F-35's highly digitalized system, which includes 360-degree camera views and AI-like sensor fusion. The healthcare industry is expected to spend $25 billion on cybersecurity from 2020 to 2025, and the U.S. presidential proposed budget includes $1.2 billion in cybersecurity. Yet that is not enough. $1.2 billion is great for the U.S. government, but what about us? What can we do to keep our data safe? There are a few simple steps we can do. I bet many of you, if not each of you, have clicked on a link without knowing where it came from at least once. This could be called phishing. Why not click on a URL titled "Cute baby cats eating ice cream gifts"? Cats are adorable. But this could also be a phishing attack. Think about this. You say only cyber attacks happen to your grandma who always seems to be winning free cruises, or your brother who goes on illegal streaming sites. That is not always the case. It is the morning of October 28th, and Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, gets an email like this from Google's Gmail account services department, saying that his password was compromised and must be changed immediately. What's the first thing you do when you get an email like that? Click the link. That's exactly what he did. Click the link and put in all of his password information. 5 seconds later, hackers had the keys to his email and by extent almost every single detail of the Hillary campaign. The good news is there's a really easy way that we can prevent this from happening. All we do is create a link and make sure that we only click on links from sources that we trust and verify are legitimate. According to a study, in 2020, phishing was the most prevalent threat with over 240,000 attacks. By just verifying that the links we trust are true and that we make sure that they are not from hackers, we can prevent people from being victims of a phishing attack. Now for our next email, for our next presentation, schools are meant to be one of the safest places on earth. But would you believe it if I said that your school email alone is enough information as your Instagram bio? Take this hypothetical school email, for example, from Mary Jones. This is how it would look in most districts throughout America. M. Jones, 26, at centralschools.edu. easy for the school to assign. Now let's dissect this email. M. Jones. The hacker now has her last name and by consent can figure out her ethnicity. 26. The hacker now has her grade and can figure out how old she is. Armed with this information, unless you have a complex password, it is not hard for the hacker to find its way into the portal. Once in the portal, the hacker can see everything that you see as well. This includes your parents, your pictures, your grades, and everything else. The good news is there's a way to prevent this from happening. All you do is create another email, such as extraemail@gmail.com. This is the email you should give out to people you don't truly trust or really know. This is also the email you should use for signing up for online magazine subscriptions, as they often take your email. Now for our last example, who has heard of a man named Edward Snowden? If you haven't, here's the scoop. He discovered something strange about our emails and our phones and computers. They don't always have to be on for them to be watching. Think about how many of us leave our computers on, even open on our desks, maybe overnight. The prospect of someone creeping into your life uninvited is horrifying. According to an article by The Conversation, this is known as RATing, or Remote Access Administration Tools. This is used by hackers to make people believe that they've been caught in a webcam hack, and people often pay up in fear of being publicly exposed. Even though most hacks are only done by intelligence agencies or by political espionage, we can see that these happen to many people, such as the hack against Britannica, which generated $7.5 million in cryptocurrency. The good news is, just like phishing in your email, there is a quick fix that doesn't require being particularly techy. Tape over the blinking dot. Put tape over your computer camera and take it off for online meetings. Now the next time you go into a Starbucks and talk with someone or comment on the Instagram story, think about what you are telling people. What details do you notice? Thank you.